things will really improve. Yeah.
Sounds really good. So it's like running a marathon, but you're almost you're starting to getting there to have more gender equality.
Yeah. We haven't gotten there, because even as I'm talking, there are one or two. How do I put it? Acts in Parliament, which has to be approved, but it hasn't. Yeah, about affirmative action. Still, it is still at Parliament. It's been lying in Parliament for some time now, and we are hoping that very soon it will be approved. Yeah, we have a long way to go, because even if you come to Europe, they have a long way to go. And I'm happy to be in the Nordic countries, because when you talk about gender equality, the Nordic countries are doing very well. You take Iceland, you take Finland, you take Denmark, Norway, and these Nordic countries, how many of them have women heads of states? Yeah. We have Norway, we have Denmark, we have Iceland, and also Finland. Yeah. So it's a good place for me to learn, and I have learned a lot of things about gender equality since I came here.
Yeah, how does it feel to be a role model? I imagine there's like a bit of pressure, and it may have been difficult at times to push through in an environment that is maybe a little hostile.
Yeah, it's not easy to be a role model, or it's not easy to fight for a good cause, but you have to be focused and have the end in mind. And for me, all that I ask myself, what I'm doing, is it good or bad? But I realize that it's something that I'm fighting for a good cause, which at the end of the day will help society and community at last. And as a role model, you are a leader. And as a leader, you have to be careful about the way you go about things, about the way you comport yourself. It's very, very important, because as a role model, you have to lead an exemplary life. A leader is somebody who has followers. So if people are following you, then you have to walk your talk. Yeah, it's not easy, and especially in a man's world, they will bully you. So you have to be sometimes fair and firm. Yeah, because sometimes at meetings, and they'll give you all names, you know. One time I was walking in my corridor, and one of my officers, he was asking a colleague, is Iron around? And I said, but who is this Iron? Not knowing they call me Iron Lady because they think I am straight and that kind of thing. Why? But if a man behaves the same way that I'm behaving, that man is hardworking. But if a woman does it, the woman is straight, the woman is emotional, and that kind of thing, you see. But that is part and parcel of life. So if you know all these things, you adapt and adjust. And that is exactly what I've been doing. Mm-hmm. Mm.
So I guess if there's a woman listening to this podcast and she's younger, she says, oh, you really got the fighter spirits, but what can I do? Do you have advice for her?
You have to be focused and know why you want to do it. Not doing it for doing sake, but we are all human beings. We are all conceived 9 months. We all go to the same school. We all write the same examinations. We all come out with the same certificates. How come that when it comes to resources, sharing of resources, we want us to be at the periphery? It's not right. It's not fair. Yeah, so if you have this understanding, it's not that somebody wants to be a litigant. We are fighting for our right and period. That is all. You know, when I joined Electricity Company of Ghana, I realized that the women were not given health insurance for their family. So if I am a woman and unfortunately my husband is not working and falls sick, I can't claim health insurance for my husband. So I took them on and I said, look, you think all of you are men, but your wife, one day you will fall sick. It's not only your wife that is going to fall sick, you also fall sick. Or if you go on retirement, and if unfortunately you get stroke and you don't have money, because in Africa it's not like here where we have this welfare states and the state looks after you. But if this covers everybody and you and your wife are in Electricity Company of Ghana, when you are sick, it will cover you. So sometimes the things that we fight for, we are not fighting for ourselves, but we are fighting for society. And they understood me and changed the collective bargaining agreement altogether. And a very interesting one is we, the ambassadors. You know, the ambassadorial position was made for men. So if you look at some of the benefits, you realize that they didn't think about one day women becoming ambassadors. So you come with your husband and he feels so bored. But if you are a woman, because maybe you have children at home and that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so for me, when people say that people are feminists and they are fighting for something that they don't deserve, I don't see it that way. So if you are a woman and you understand these things, that is how I will advise any woman that we are fighting for a good cause. And God created it in such a way that we can come out with our inner self. We have different ways of looking at things, different ways. Our passionate for things are different. You will see a woman who is interested in driving an airplane. You will see a man who wants to be a chef. So why should you come and say that all women should be work as cook or chef, and the men should fly planes and that kind of thing? Why don't society leave us to come out with our inner self? And this is something that I found in the Nordic countries. Yeah, so whatever work that you want to go in, go to Ghana. How many people did you see as women painters, women artisans? We have a few. Yeah. And even some of them think it's a taboo. Mm. You see? Yeah, so something that you can do, and you are creative, you have that gift, but because of the culture or the tradition, you just sit down and become poor. I hope you understand me. Yeah, so if I'm advising anybody, this is how I'll go about it. That you should first and foremost believe in what you are doing and be interested and be focused.
And speak up.
And speak up, yeah.
It's so nice to hear, to have a role model here telling, and not just telling, but been practicing.
Oh yes,
that's really nice. Now we're sitting here and we hear the wind outside, and I guess the weather is so much better in Ghana. do you remember the first day you stepped foot in Copenhagen? How was it when you came here as the ambassador?
Oh, it was normal, you know. I studied in Den Haag, Netherlands, as I told you. And I've been coming to Europe for training programs and that kind of thing. Yeah, but the weather was cold. Yeah, it was killing when we got out of the plane. But I knew I was going to experience something like that. Yeah. So, but I found Copenhagen to be a very beautiful city, very clean. Yeah, and that's my first impression. Yeah, that's all. This is a very clean and beautiful city with trees all over the place. You know, in Ghana, we used to have these trees, but For whatever reason, we started cutting them. My hometown, for instance, we had trees in the middle of the road. It demarcated the road to dual carriage. Somewhere along the line, they said they are coming to do asphalt, so they cut all the trees. Yeah, but here I realized the way you have trees all over. And now, Ghana, we are coming back to that realization. You know, for trees, we have them a lot in Ghana, but when we cut them, we don't even grow them. Yeah, so my first impression was a very beautiful green city.
Sounds so great. We have a lot of questions, but I'm just listening to you. And just, such a good story. I guess on the it was just like we did go to the homepage, and you had some quotes. You talked about the environment.
You see, we are now in a state of uncertainty because of the climate change. And the way things are going, definitely it will affect economic growth all over. That is why there is a need for us to do something about the climate change. And Africa is not an exception. In Africa, we don't take this climate change seriously, because if you look at the way we burn our trees, forests, and even pollution, you know, carbon dioxide, the type of vehicles that we import, we have a lot to do about economic growth and the climate. And, you know, because of the climate change, Africa, we have a lot of Sahara Desert. And because of the climate change, it's eating up, growing everywhere. And the climate has changed completely in Africa now. I can say more or much about my country, Ghana. We used to have this rain season and the dry season, and now everything has changed. And sometimes it rains so heavily, floods all over the place. And I believe you've been reading some of these things. It has been flooding, and when it floods, buildings get broken, roads, and that kind of thing. And all these things, it affects economic growth. And in Ghana, one of the flagship programs of His Excellency, the President, Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, is moving Ghana beyond aid. And what is aid? Aid is support and assistance received from other countries, charitable assistance sort of. And if we want to move beyond this and be self-sufficient and be self-dependent, then we have to do something about the climate change, because Africa, and for that matter Ghana, we grow, it's an agricultural country. So if we want to improve in we want to grow economically and socially, then we have to do something about this. Is what we are talking about, that we have to put things in place that the future generation won't suffer. The future generation will even get land to grow whatever they want to grow. It won't affect them. So this is what we are talking about. That now, as a country, we are very sensitive about how to plan and do things, and taking into consideration also the climate. For now, we are trying to move from, when it comes to energy, you want to use more of solar, than terminal. And even hydro has also become a problem. So we are really thinking about solar. And in so many things that we do, we have greenhouses here and there. So we are thinking, and also to go organic. Yeah, because these things help with the climate. Yeah, so when we talk about in pursuit of our economic growth and development, we owe it ourselves and future generations to have the environment in mind. Yeah. How do we green Ghana? So we are going back to the old days.